My viewer just sent me an entire PDF file for Bro's account review, and you would not believe what happens next. Alright, so Bro is gonna be from North America, $700 to $800 over the past 3 years. I think that is like a reasonable amount, right? For 3 years. It's like what? $250 a year. So about slightly more than $20 a month. So I think that is not too shabby. Been tuning into HSR ever since PS5 launch. Took a short break in version 2 and haven't missed a beat. At some point, you became one of my go-to streamers for Star Rail content. Although I don't check in religiously, your uploads always make my day. I'm a bit particular about how I play HSR, okay? I am strangely fixated on making everyone fast. And you avoid ego and DDD. This is what this sentence here, making everyone fast and avoiding ego and DDD, is what I call a contrasting statement, otherwise known as ironic. This is a very, very ironic statement, but let's just move on. Lushaga is 2 since it forces me to slot DPS in slot 1. My mind associates the shapes to units. Shield sustain for a big shield, for a square. Triangle, direct support, enabler, readies team forward. Wild card. X vector that complements DPS. Circle, bullseye for DPS. Crazy, innit? Innit, chat conversion. I love using unorthodox synergy lineups like Sparkle and Firefly, Cypher and Saber, Evernight and Aglaia. Sunday equals male equals bad. I did not say that. I'm a simple guy. I see pink-haired samurai girl I pull. Regarding that, I might have spent 56 resins on Evanesia. Holy shit. Including a dye synthesis and 3 golden spirits saved across last year. I better see some crazy ass Evanesia build after this, because that sounds literally absurd. Anyways, I appreciate if you could look into all my DPS, but particularly insights on Firefly's speed. Work in progress Evanesia speed build. Attack boots on standby, hoping fast Evanesia to play. It won't. It just won't. Fast DPS enthusiast, but it just won't, right? So it just won't. My DHPD crit build. You want it to be offense oriented. Don't have a set goal in mind in terms of having to farm for now, and I think he needs the most work. Better crit rate, crit damage. Let me know if you should focus your stamina on him or something else. Also, instead of a challenge, I prepare a 900-word discussion. Thanks in advance for the professional consultation and listening to all this. Yeah, please feel free to be a tourist in my world and check out anything that catches your eye. Wishing you the best. Alright, so here's Bro's 900-word document right here. This is 900 words. Holy. If you were reincarnated in a fantasy world and had to pick 3 HSR characters to defeat the Demon Lord, who would you pick and why? Personally, I would 100% pick a shielder over a healer, because a healer in your party implies that you will get wounded occasionally, but don't dwell on it. The reason I pose this question is to bring out my takes on the true HSR endgame and a certain agenda. MOC Pure Fiction ASAA are heat checks. The true endgame is clearing Divergent Universe. Now let me explain my train of thought. Okay, wait, before I go down any further, if I were to pick 3, it's gonna be Fei Xiao, it's gonna be Cyrene, and it's gonna be E1 Trippy. Alright, let me explain my train of thought before you pop a blood vessel or bust a nut, okay? Pause. Suppose DU was like a fantasy world isekai dungeon. Bosses change each stage and the game mode is always there for you to challenge it. It is more accessible now though, since you can quick swap characters you don't own and come up with lots of different unorthodox lineups. Forget the zero cycling, you are simply journeying with your partners and upgrade your equipment along the way to reach the final room and beat the Demon King. It may take you half an hour or maybe even more, but it makes it all the more rewarding when you do. And when you reach the end of the stars, DUX9, easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Now some people will say that is too easy and boring, but trust me when I say a lot of people haven't cleared it. Kudos to you if I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. And there it is. DU doesn't get constant updates and the gameplay is pretty simple, yet the majority simply struggle to climb up the divisions. DU is not like your usual endgame content where you can just auto battle your way to zero cycle with items or the latest characters in the final stages. It is an obstacle for most, even some of the whales who flex their zero cycle border frames, but the moment I scroll down to their profile, boom, immediately exposed. If you're a whale and you're mad, stay mad or just go clear DU. You obviously have the time to do it too, by the looks of you swiping your card every time you run into a minor inconvenience. Just saying. Damn, that sounds a little bit confrontational. Wouldn't you say, right? That's a little bit confrontational. DU is a personal journey. People won't applaud you for tackling because of shiny trophies like zero cycle 3-star clearing is all that matters. I also understand that DU doesn't relatively hand out plenty of shiny rewards for clearing it, but some people inevitably end up using this lack of incentive as a smoke screen for their mediocrity. And don't give me the BS boring gameplay loop excuse. Tons of gamers that are in the high ranked divisions in their respective games think and feel the same way, but they strive to get results. Not every DU run is gonna go your way, and you will win some and you will lose some, but the endeavors are also what makes the destination and the journey worth your time, not just your accomplishments. So don't go complaining simply because you are weak-spirited. At least try to climb the ladder with the team and lineup you enjoy playing, free of prejudice and shackles of society. And wherever you end up, whichever division, be proud of yourself. Okay, but who am I? Bro, I'm not laughing by the way. I'm not. But who am I to judge how you play the game, right? You are free to play however you want. I just think it's a damn shame that some of y'all worship this end game content loop as judge, jury, and executioner a little holy shit, that is okay, a little too much. Remember, they serve as a temporary heat checks. Besides, DU has always been a testament to yourself, as pure and raw as it gets. And that's why, personally, I believe it is the true end game of HSR, the true realm. A realm where all walks of life, wizards, paladins, rogues, lancers, etc. can take center stage. A realm where even ramp up characters that only show their worth in a lengthy battle get to shine. A realm where you don't need to run sustainless or cheese with DDD to keep dancing with bigger fish. A realm where half-assed gear selection and mindless auto-battling can make or break your run, urging you to step up and lock the fuck in. A realm that judges us all harshly, but a bit more fairly, unlike these so-called endgame content that heavily favor the gacha aspect and constantly demand us to meet their ever-shifting meta expectations. A realm where even a jester can overthrow the god King Infinity Blade reference, the true Phantasmoon games, if you will. Now, for the NPCs in the chat that probably said, this is a whole... Okay, you know what? Wait, before I even go any further, I kind of want to see, did anyone say that? You know what? I think Twitch chat kind of fits the criteria. Oh, it's YouTube chat. Bro, YouTube comments are actually pretty unhinged. I'm not even gonna lie. By any case, I'm gonna go on. Yo, QQ, thank you so much for the $2 tip.
Words. Please up your game next time. Also, I would like to collect patent fee for PDF account review submission.
QQ, you are the original PDF guy. Thank you. Okay, but let's just continue on, right? Let's just continue. For the NPCs in the chat, probably said that this was a whole lot of nothing. They obviously let this go over their heads. But don't fret, for I am just an agent of AHA, providing you a fresh alternative perspective. For I am just an agent of AHA, pushing an agenda that seems too hard to grasp for some of you cogs in the machine. For I am just an agent of AHA, reminding all the gloomy mushrooms out there to let go of their meta anxiety and simply enjoy the game. Sure, maybe I'm too childish and truly bio for thinking this way, but hey, the truth is the truth. Mewing emoji. And God real is God real. And as such, it demands only our strongest soldiers, those who carry the will to keep swimming in the endless waters filled with adversity. Do not be fooled by these shiny picture frames. Have a blast and trailblaze a path set just for you, and strive to prove that you too can reach the end of the stars. Here's to hoping even one of you got inspired by this yapness. And to those who think I wasted their time, you're welcome. Spring, unapologetic about issues that matter since 2003. I think that is the greatest piece of modern media that I have ever read when it comes to Honkai Star Rail in the history of Honkai Star Rail. So thank you so much, Mr. Spring, for your infinite words of wisdom. Chat, type 1 if you're inspired. You know what? I'm gonna start right now. I'm extremely inspired. Bro, I am so fucking inspired right now, bro. Feel the inspiration coming from me right now because I am extremely inspired. But before we get to any source of inspiration, I'ma keep it a stack. At the end of the day, this is an account review. This is not a DU review. So after all that yep, I would hope that this account looks... What the actual fuck is that? The same guy that wrote me a 900-word PDF on being an elitist for Divergent Universe has a 1,000 reserved trail. The same guy who said when a jester can overthrow the God King, by the way, that is a little bit interesting, if I can say so myself. Also, Justice for saying thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I feel inspired to write another report. Feel free to do so if I can say so myself. But let's just see what the God King is able to provide us right here. What's on my mind lately? Chat, what's on your mind? Chat, what's on your mind right now, bro? Please feel free to speak your mind right now. What's on my mind right now is that this account review is absolute fucking cinema. Bro, this is probably gonna be one of the best account reviews I've ever done in the entire year. Very, very interesting. So let's take a look. First of all, your end game content clear. And now I might acknowledge that you are a DU elitist. Personally, for me, Bro, it will be so fucking unfunny if you didn't clear your endgame, bro. Please clear it. Yo, look at that, guys. A 0 cycler, bro. Whoa, a 0 cycler. What happened here? Oh. But a 0 cycler nonetheless, guys. That is a great display. Sasuga, the God King himself, bro. The God King himself is actually kinda silly. We also have a exceptional 0 cycle showcase for 2 different anomaly arbitration. The double 0 cycle featuring Evanesia and Firefly. 80k clear and 7-7. Oh, bro, the perfect. I have encountered the God King of Honkai Star Rail today, right here at twitch.tv/MrPokke. How many pulls you have right now, my man? I mean, it's not that bad. All right, it's not that bad. It's like what? 15? 16 pulls? All right, and we got the Evanesia, right? And we got the Evanesia. That is, do you win your 50-50? It's all good. All right, it's all good. Argentina is a good unit. In any case, with that out of the way. All right, moment of truth, guys. God damn. That's good. Oh, there we go. All right, that is good. That is good. That is good. Oh, that is good. You know what? You know what? Oh, that and there were these, right? Okay, yep, and there were these, and there were these. Okay, okay. Okay, I'm just gonna assume you had like a double here, right? That is not my only justification. All right, really. There we go. There we go. The greatest DPS in Honkai Star Rail. That is really good. Wow. Okay, I can respect that. The E2 Saber. Okay, E0 caster. That's, bro, it's the same as me, chat. Bro, it's the same Sparkle investment as me. That is very nice. Alright. Alright. E0 Archer getting the 0 cycle for Anom was pretty good, not gonna lie. Alright. E0 Silver Wolf. Alright, that is pretty cool. E1 Well Yang. Alright, so that is gonna be bros cost investments. Don't really have a E6 except for the E6 cut out from losing 50-50s, I'm assuming. But a lot of meta costs, right? Those are very meta costs. If you're knowing what I'm talking about in terms of like meta costs, then you know exactly what I'm gonna be saying. Alright. E2S1. That is good. That is good. That is oh, that is a little bit strange, but okay. Okay. Alright, that's a, ooh, that's a, yeah. Okay, at least you have DD, right? There we go. Kill Sparkle as well. You never need that ever again. Between these two, whichever one you want to swap about, just give them the other. This one is honestly not that bad if you want to save cost, right? If you want to save cost, but I'm guessing you don't even use Silver Wolf anymore, so I wouldn't really hump too much on it. As another DDD, which is really good. All right, generally really good. I highly recommend running tutorial. Where is your tutorial? What? Do you exchange them for standard tickets? I think that is the only explanation, right? I think bro exchanged them for standard tickets. There's no other explanation. Right? There's actually no other explanation. I mean, he did clear though, right, chat? To be completely fair, he did clear. Right, he cleared everything, bro. Look at that. He basically cleared almost, I mean, like, you're missing a little bit, but, like, you kind of cleared most of it, right, as a DU elitist. But let's just move on to the actual build themselves. Okay. The thing I wanna address, your rationale of wanting to run crit DHPT, I'm assuming is you want him to deal more damage, right? No shit. Especially from his ultimate. But one thing you need to keep in mind, which is this E2's follow-up attack on the dragon, right? It is not based on bro's stats. It is based on your DPS. Which is why even if I were to build a full-on speed and attack DHPT, my dragon is still doing like a billion damage as an E2 because it's based on your DPS stats. So giving bro crit, the only thing you're gonna be changing is his basic attack and this portion of his ultimate, which is like almost inconsequential. Right, it is like super, it's 300% multiplier. You know why else is a 300% multiplier? Firefly's fucking normal scale is 200%, bro. Your whole ass ultimate is about to deal the same amount of multiplier as a Firefly's normal scale. That is a little bit crazy, which is why I would say that this crit serves almost no purpose. But if you want to go down that path, I'm not gonna stop you. So feel free to give bro a little bit more crit rate, but like, you know, it's just very, very not optimal, essentially, right? Oh, do you have the Mimi? Well done. This is a 160 speed and 58% crit rate Mimi on a Diviner. These two don't stack, so just like what I told the other account reviewees, I will change this for 4-piece Eagle. But I do know you specifically mentioned you avoid 4-piece Eagle. So you only want to give them like more speed, but you want to avoid 4-piece Eagle. For that particular point, I think you kind of just run this, I guess, because there's no other reason to run anything else, right? You get a little bit of crit rate, which is always going to be quite beneficial for EMC, and you make sure that your hits basically just do a little bit more crit, right? So that is going to be chilling. Then your Yao going on 202 crit rate is honestly a little bit low. Damn, wow, that is really good. That is really good. That is really good. Alright. Yeah, bro, it's really, really nice gear, chat. As much as you wanna, you know, this is really, really alright. Just a little bit more crit rate will be making this a lot better. Evidency on speed. Okay. The first thing that I'm a little bit concerned for is technically not too much of a concern because you have this thing called the power of money. Alright, you have the power of money. So whether or not you are gonna be giving bro enough speed or not enough speed, attack or speed, it really just doesn't matter too much anymore because you already got yourself the E2 S1 Evanesia. The only thing, in case you still want to go for like speed Evanesia, is that her getting additional speed, it doesn't translate well because you are going to be losing bangers more frequently. And especially when you get your next elation unit coming out, you can essentially just purely focus on letting your elation units giving you your banger stacks so that she can retain the bangers as much as possible so that you are gonna be able to pop out your ultimates even more. Now, although the bangers scaling, right, because your ultimate banger scaling, it will start to like diminish a lot, especially going from like 500 to 1000, then 1000 bangers and above, the damage goes down by a lot. But like, your speed have essentially almost no impact on the actual damage itself. And sometimes when you do take that one more turn, you might lose not just 1 or 200, you're losing like 500-600 bangers from a single turn decrease. Which will basically be like a net DPS loss. So I personally don't really subscribe to the idea of running a fast Evanesia. But then again, like I mentioned, because of this E2 and the E1, you probably won't really feel too much of a difference. So if you still want to run this, this is going to be okay. The only time I see this being like a good enough strategy is this thing called E6 Amnesia. Because only at E6 Amnesia is when you will generate additional fixed 120 energy for as much as possible. Then if you pop this open with the additional certified banger duration extension, that is when you want to run full on speed. Okay, fine. But until you reach this point, I don't think it's gonna be too big of a ask to just kind of take it chill a little bit. So that is pretty much gonna be that. Also, if you want to run sustainless, having lower speed and more main stats on these will make your life a lot easier, right? I mean, I don't even know what bro doing, so that's chill. Dahlia is 165, break effect, HP, speed though. I think this Dahlia is pretty much as good as it gets at E1 S1, so I don't think we will be having too big of an issue, especially with an E2 S1 Firefly. Okay, for your speed tuning on E2 S1 Firefly, right? If you want to, you could go in for this thing called the Phenon S1. Okay, never mind, take it back. You don't really need to worry too much because what eventually happens is whether or not you squeeze in that one extra turn after you delay the Firefly combustion mode outside of your state. But the thing is, the combustion mode extension, it doesn't work in MOC because it doesn't reset. So it only works in pure fiction, Epoch Shadows, and anomaly arbitration. And even if you were to lose out the additional state from the Firefly, it's kind of okay because if you leave that state, if you skill, you can instantly go back into ultimate again. So whether or not that is gonna be a big deal, it frankly just like it matters so little. I would still prioritize. Okay, like this break effect honestly is like a little bit low, so you might want to try a bit more for that. But other than that, it's gonna be a-okay. Fuck you if you can get DDD. Oh wait, if you don't want DDD, then I think you can just stick it for now. So that's gonna be chill. Nobody plays Lane Shot, especially for E2S on Firefly. Kill her in game. This is a 128 speed Evernight on E2, E3 S1. I think for your E3 S1, you are better off just going all in for more damage. So swap this out to HP, swap this out to ice damage boost, and then these two main sets can remain the same, just to squeeze out that little bit more. Because you frankly do not need any speed whatsoever. Because you can just do like big fucking nukes without EV. So that's gonna be chilling over there. 167. Oh my goodness. You know what? This might be a really strong strategy for Divergent Universe. So I'm not gonna question too much, but I have no comments on a 167 run mate, especially without running DDD. So that's gonna guess the cost very soon. Aglaia on 161 over here. Energy damn. Okay. Okay, the Aglaia is good, right? The Aglaia is good. Slap on with the Sunday, get the crit rate. The Aglaia is gonna be completely fine. Aggro on 67, crit rate on the South Solo, but this is E0, right? Highly recommend saving your pools for the next unit coming up. I'm not too sure if bro is gonna be helping Aggron, but he is gonna be a nihility unit at the end of the day. So if he's gonna be helping Aggron, highly recommend a little bit more for that regard. Facial, honestly, the speed is super fucking high. It is a very high speed. That is a very high speed. And you didn't really sacrifice too much on stats as well, which honestly is quite impressive. 163 speed on 90% crit and 148 crit damage. Maybe you could go for a little bit more attack and swap out your attack boots. But if you just want to make them as fast as possible, that is gonna be okay. No comments on the Bronya because no one uses her anymore. Saber, if you want to run a Sparkle, same as the other guy, give bro lower speed. Stat is gonna be okay. This is not ideal because Saber's skill doesn't deal too much damage. You get a little bit of ultimate, but if you can use Wave Strider, I will run. Oh, wait, you have no gears. Wait, what? Holy shit, wow. You have no gears. Oh, God, you spend all your fucking 56 resin for Evanesia, right? You know what? You know what? I can respect it. I can respect it. I mean, bro literally have a 5-row speed boost at this point, right? So I feel that I can respect it. For 56 resins, bro. This took 56 resins. So... I feel like if you want to just lock in this build for the rest of your life, just get this. Right, you will pretty much just get the full 35 speed and just give as much ultimate as possible. But a very, very nice investment in that regard over there. Casterus is absolutely fucking homeless, so I don't think it's gonna be too much of it. Oh my god. No. No. Okay, I mean, like, if you hate Casterus, if you don't want to invest in Casterus, it's fine, right? But I would definitely change out the quantums here. Car is, I personally don't like Diver on Car. Just because her own damage is, like, completely almost inconsequential. And also, most of the time I do use Car, I run them Sustainers, which I noticed that you yourself also do, right? You are running Sustainers Car a lot in, like, your Memory of Chaos, Curse, and your Anomaly Arbitration. So like, if you were to run like this kind of like sustainless cars, where is this? Okay, I guess you're still running DHPD. But okay, like this team right here, if you were to run a sustainless car, it will make your life like a lot easier. Because you don't really need to grind too much for the RNG as much as you want to reset. And the crit from car is like, it's so low that it's like whatever. Because a 2.6k HP car is like, holy shit, bro. Like, she'll die way too quickly. So I don't know what to do. Sparkle a little bit more speed. This is honestly quite slow, but I will try to get a little bit more speed. Okay, I mean, for Glamorph is a viable stat for Scylla, and you have I mean, if you want to use her, right, if you don't have Ceridra, running Scylla feels quite wonky. It's still runnable, but lagging a Ceridra to her support is gonna bite you in the ass a little bit. And then when you change this out to, holy shit, did you change the light cone shop for Scylla's light cone? Wow. Wow. Okay, so I guess you're committed to the Scylla S1 then. Okay, then at that point, I don't think you need a swap brown anymore. Just commit to the S5, then you are gonna be good to go. Archer crit rate is a little bit low. Okay, I also just realized that the crit rate is technically not that low because bro does in fact run with Sparkle's S1 because he hates DDD. Right, since bro hates DDD, slap this on. Alright, no further questions. You are gonna be fine. And then last but not least, this Silver Wolf is... it can be a lot better. A lot better. Not so much for the gears, because I think your gear substat wise is pretty good, right? It is just mainly the lack of the S1. So if you want to invest in a Silver Wolf, feel free. But then again, if you don't want to kill, if you don't want to play Silver because you have E2, S1, and Vanessa, you can also just forget about her, right? But you pull over her anyway, so it's just up for your consideration. I mean, you only invest the one cost, it's not that big of the deal. Aventurine, let's run DHPD. Well, Yang, I'm not sure why it's there, and the rest of the units are pretty much gonna be done. Overall, though, I would say that I can't really say too many like things. Because he's still 0 cycled at the end of the day, right? If at the end of the day, bro is still 0 cycling with the PDF documents, right? With the DU elitism and the perspective on what the true endgame is, he still got himself the 0 cycles and everything. With or without the power of money, it's kind of beside the point because it's his money to do what he wants to do. I would just have only a single recommendation. The Predator achievement. Is he a Predator? Wait, how do you check that? Is it here? Where is it under again? Bro, can we filter by achievements one day? It's impossible to fucking find it, bro. Okay, but it looks like he has a lot, though. Wait, where do you find a Predator achievement? It's there? It's in Universe, right? It has been the Universe, right? Okay, I have no idea what you're saying. But I'm kind of just gonna move on because I cannot find it. Bro, I can't find it, bro. It's probably not here. But in any case, I kind of want to just wrap this up right now. My TLDR, I honestly only have one single question, or rather advice, which is maybe consider spending some Trailblaze power to upgrade your units a little bit more. It is not so much on whether or not you want to spend for E2, don't want to spend for E2 or whatever, but by upgrading or rather spending your stamina, it can save you more money in the future. Like if you were to get better units, better gears, or better whatever the hell, and being more efficient with your time in the game, because in God's game is either you pay with time or you pay with money, right? So by spending them a little bit better, you might not have needed to dump 56 resins for Evanesia. Right, because this is basically all this Trailblaze power. It could have went into Evanesia. Maybe it would have saved you like 10 resins or like 20 resins or something. And then you could have saved those money to then spend on Evanesia support or sustain when they eventually do come out in the future. But overall, I am just going to give this a rating . The first ever DU elitist in the history of this channel. Let me know what y'all think about our first ever DU elitist account. Exclamation review if you really have something super interesting. Otherwise, I'm kind of chilling. Join Twitch, join YouTube, join Discord, join Twitter, use code pokke. Damn myself, game myself. All the best, thank you. Oh, he cleared DU 3 days ago.